Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about a coin you might think is just common, but it could be worth thousands of dollars. I'm talking about the 1965 Washington quarter, a coin that most people think is worth just 25 cents, but under very rare circumstances it could bring in $7,000, $10,000, or even more. The regular 1965 quarter was made from a copper-nickel-clad metal, and most of them remain worth only 25 cents because more than 1.8 billion were minted. However, a few 1965 quarters were mistakenly struck on silver planchets, the blanks used for earlier 90% silver coins. These rare, silver, 1965 quarters weigh about 6.25 grams and have a solid silver-colored edge with no visible copper stripe. Because they are so rare and such a striking error, these silver planchet 1965 quarters have fetched auction prices in the range of $7,000 to over $14,000 depending on condition and certification. The Washington quarter has been around for a long time. It was first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first President of the United States. The design that most of us recognize today was created by John Flanagan, and his initials can be found just below Washington's neck on the front of the coin. The Washington quarter quickly became popular because it honored a beloved historical figure and had a design that was easy to recognize. By the 1960s, the United States was facing a coin shortage. People were hoarding coins made of silver because the value of silver was increasing. Quarters, dimes, and half dollars were all made of 90% silver, which made them more valuable as metal than as money. Because of this, coins were disappearing from circulation. To solve this problem, the U.S. Mint made a big change in 1965. They stopped using silver for quarters and switched to a cheaper metal blend called copper-nickel. This new composition had a copper core with a thin layer of nickel on the outside, and this change is what makes the 1965 quarter historically important. It marks the start of modern, non-silver quarters. Even though the Mint officially stopped making silver quarters in 1964, a few rare errors slipped through. Some leftover silver planchets, which are the blank pieces of metal used to make coins, accidentally got mixed into the presses that were supposed to make the new copper-nickel coins. This mistake created a small number of 1,965 quarters that are actually made of silver. Collectors call these coins the 1965 silver transitional era quarters, and because they are so rare, they can be extremely valuable. If you want to see if you might have one of these rare coins, there are a few things to look for. First, the date should say 1965. Next, check the edge of the coin. Regular 1965 quarters have a reddish-brown stripe along the edge because of the copper core. A silver era coin will have a solid silver-colored edge with no copper showing. You can also weigh the coin. Regular quarters made of copper-nickel weigh about 5.67 grams, while a rare silver coin will weigh about 6.25 grams. The difference might seem small, but it's a very important clue. Some collectors also do a sound test. Silver coins make a higher pitched ring when tapped on a hard surface, while copper-nickel coins make a duller sound. These simple tests can help you identify a valuable coin before you take it to a professional. The value of these coins is what really excites collectors. A regular 1965 quarter is worth 25 cents, maybe a little more if it's in mint condition. But a 1965 silver-era quarter can sell for thousands of dollars, depending on its condition. Some have been sold at auctions for $10,000 or even $15,000. That is a huge difference for a coin that looks almost the same as the one in your pocket. Each coin has its own market value, history, and design, which makes collecting these coins both exciting and rewarding. The design of the coin itself is also worth appreciating. On the front, or obverse side, you'll see a portrait of George Washington facing left. Above his head is the word Liberty, and right below his chin, you'll see the motto, In God We Trust. At the bottom of the coin, the year 1965 is displayed. On the back, or reverse side, there is a bald eagle with outstretched wings, holding a bundle of arrows, which symbolizes strength and readiness to defend peace. Above the eagle are the words, United States of America, and below, the denomination, quarter dollar. The design is simple, elegant, and has become one of the most recognizable American coins in history. Besides the silver error, there are a few other mistakes that can make a 1965 quarter valuable. Sometimes coins are struck off-center, which means the design is not perfectly aligned. These off-center coins can be worth anywhere from $50 to a few $100s, depending on how extreme the error is. Another type of mistake is called a double die error, where part of the design is stamped twice slightly off, creating a doubled image. This is often most noticeable in the letters or numbers. Clipped planchets, where part of the coin's edge is missing, can also occur and are collectible. Even small imperfections can make a coin more valuable than a regular one, which is why it's important to check your coins carefully. Collectors love the 1965 Washington quarter not just for its potential value, but also because it represents a major change in U.S. coin history. It is the coin that marked the end of silver in everyday quarters and the beginning of modern coin production. Every coin tells a story about the economy, the mint, and the people who used it. Whether it's a rare silver error or a standard copper-nickel quarter, these coins hold a connection to the past that makes them special. If you happen to find a 1965 quarter, it's important not to clean or polish it. Cleaning coins can damage them and significantly reduce their value. Instead, if you believe you have a rare silver coin or any error coin, it's best to have it checked by a professional grading service, such as PCGS or NGC. They can confirm if your coin is genuine and provide a grade, which is an important factor in determining value. The 1965 Washington quarter is a perfect example of how something that seems ordinary can turn out to be extraordinary. It teaches us to look carefully, pay attention to details, and understand the history behind everyday objects. Even if you don't have a silver era quarter, learning about these coins can help you appreciate the history of American money and the skill that goes into making it. Coin collecting is not just about money, it's about history, design, and the thrill of discovery. So, the next time you're sorting through your coins or checking your change, remember that even the most ordinary coin might have a hidden story or unexpected value. A 1965 Washington quarter might just be a rare treasure waiting to be discovered. Thanks for watching, and I hope this video helps you understand the history, errors, and value of this amazing coin. If you enjoyed learning about this, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next video about rare and valuable coins. Until next time, happy collecting, and keep your eyes open. You never know what hidden treasures might be right in front of you.